laptop keyboards are a complete disaster. Yeah, they are. They're a complete disaster. I have a Chromebook for a couple of years, and I thought the keyboard was absolute crap. But then I recently went to an electronics store, played around with the other keyboards, and I realized, no, this isn't really that crappy at all. Actually, this is a fantastic keyboard compared to all the other keyboards on these laptops today. And let's look at Apple as an example. Apple just doesn't know what they're doing. I'm sorry, but I just need to be honest here because it's kind of frustrating. Apple doesn't know what they're doing with keyboards. I don't know what happened to their engineering team. I don't know what happened to their design team. They simply don't know how to make keyboards anymore. They used to have the best keyboards. The absolute best keyboards, no question. I had a 2014 MacBook Pro, and the keyboards had amazing, fantastic travel, fantastic feedback, and you could type on them for days. And the experience was fantastic. Nowadays, well, I had a MacBook Pro and like with a touch bar. I had it for like 2 weeks, playing around with it just to see. Anyway, this is like the first iteration of the butterfly keyboard or whatever keyboard mechanism they have now. It's a terrible mechanism, by the way. Anyway, this is the first iteration of their mechanism, and I played around with it. My fingers are getting aches and pains after an hour of typing. Now, if anyone wants to type anything, forget it. Forget the MacBooks. Like, they're all garbage. Anyway, I thought, well, maybe after a couple of years, they would improve the keyboard. Not the case. Not the case at all. They're on their, like, 5th iteration of butterfly keyboards. Anyway, if you type on them today, they're still a disaster. Whatever they did on the inside is supposed to improve so they don't falter, but they still know that they have issues because they're giving these repair programs out. So if you have an issue with your keyboard, that's okay, because Apple will replace it. They know that they've made some serious mistakes. But instead of actually just fixing the keyboard, they're just going to continue to release the same keyboard. Great. Just great. I have no desire to buy an Apple laptop for this one reason. If they could just fix their keyboard, then I'd have a reason to type on it. I mean, I'd be happy to pay for an Apple laptop if they could make one that was worth the price. But they're not worth the price. No. And maybe their operating system's fantastic, but the keyboard, let's focus on the keyboards here. Keyboards are so important. It's like having a car that doesn't turn on, or it doesn't run properly, or it continually breaks down. If your keyboard is continually messing up for you, it becomes a frustration. And okay, fine, you can get used to this terrible keyboard, sure. But do you have to get used to something when it's $2,000 plus? Canadian dollars. Do you have to get used to that? Because that doesn't seem logical. I could get a MacBook Pro back in the day, $1,500, and the keyboard was fine. No problems. No problems for 4 years. Heck, no problems for as long as I wanted to play around with it. The keyboards just worked and have issues. I wasn't struggling to type out sentences. And I hate to admit it, but my Chromebook, which cost $400, has better, again, Canadian figures. My keyboard has better feedback than a MacBook. It has better typing ability than a MacBook, less errors than a MacBook. Why? Why is that? I mean, the thing is like 1/4 the price of a MacBook, so I don't understand. And all these new MacBooks, they all have the butterfly keyboard, and they're all a disaster in design and engineering. And Apple was known for making amazingly designed products. Not so much anymore. Now I don't know why anyone would buy it. I mean, unless you have an emotional connection to Apple. There's a lot of people that do. They're connected to the ecosystem. The ecosystem is fake. There's no real ecosystem. You can migrate any of your stuff into another computer. It doesn't take that much time. It took me like a day to move everything from a MacBook to a Chromebook. It doesn't take that much time. So you're not locked into any particular computer. But now I don't see any appeal to a MacBook. I don't see any appeal to any laptop for that matter. How about the 15-inch laptops that cram a number pad into the side? So then you're typing to the left, the screen's there, you're kind of moving, like your arms are kind of angled to the left in order to type. Really? That's weird ergonomics. 17-inch computers that have the same situation where everything is like shifted to the left, so you're typing. Like, nobody's really thinking about design of the keyboard, obviously. Who cares about the number pad? You don't need a number pad in anything unless you're an accountant. How many accountants are really wasting time on number pads on laptops? Most will probably buy a dedicated number pad that actually types properly. Also, a lot of these keyboards, they have now flat keys. Okay, there's no divots, there's no little dents in the keys, so there's no feel. You don't get a good feel for the keyboard. It's all like the actual material of the key is all flat. That's kind of annoying. Actually, I had bought an iPad keyboard cover, or I had explored the iPad keyboards, and Logitech actually makes fantastic keyboards for the iPad. I'm like, okay, so these tablet keyboard covers are better than laptop keyboards. And it's crazy. Like, yeah, the laptop or the tablet keyboard cover by Logitech, it's got these nice little indents. And even though it was for a 10-inch screen, I'm thinking, whoa, this is a fantastic keyboard. I could type on this for hours. I'm like, well, why can't laptops have a keyboard like this? And I've looked at the Microsoft keyboards, and you try to, how about the Surface Pro, whatever, has like the keyboard cover for the tablet. An amazing machine. Microsoft's doing amazing things with their devices. If you push down on the keyboard, it has flex because it's not properly flush. And so, I don't know, it's like, would I want to type on that? And the Surface laptop seems like it's got a pretty good keyboard, but again, it's like the flat material of the keys. It's like a nice little indent there is kind of nice to type on. I think Lenovo's got some keyboards out there that have a nice indent to them. Some of them, but a lot of Lenovo's are pieces of crap as well. So there's a heck of a lot more crummy keyboards than there are good keyboards. Why is that? Why is that? I don't get it. I don't know why. I don't know why it is. I don't know why people can't just design proper keyboards. It's not that difficult. You have a mold, make the keyboard the way it should be, and just stick to it. It just seems like everyone's trying to cut corners, and the reason why, perhaps, is the desire to make things thin. And you see, if the keys have a nice little curve in them, so your finger fits nicely into the key, that adds thickness to the keys, perhaps. And that makes the laptop thicker, perhaps. I don't know. That's probably what it is. That's probably what it is. A desire to make a thin hardware. Yes. Well, maybe you should not make the keyboard thin. Look at other ways to thin out the device, but never ever compromise on the keyboard. That should be a lesson here. Engineers, take note. Get your keyboards together. Get them in place. Get them the way they should be. Because anyone that's buying a laptop is not just using it not to type. They're actually using it to type. People who are buying a tablet might not be using it to type. So why are you making amazing tablet keyboards but not amazing laptop keyboards? Doesn't make any sense. Like your smartphones, you're not really using it to type so much. But a laptop, you're using it for work. That's why you're getting a laptop. You're using it to do some serious work. A keyboard is critical. I feel like I could go on and on about this, but I just want to wrap this up. Please fix your keyboards. It's not that difficult. Look at some of the quality keyboards in the past. Apple, go back to your old keyboards. It's really not that difficult. Make it a little thicker. I don't care. You can promote like 20-hour battery life or something. People will really gravitate to that. Amazing battery life, amazing keyboard. I'm sold. Okay, fine. Add on an extra half a pound. Doesn't matter to me. Get an amazing keyboard, amazing battery life because of the extra thickness. Sold. No question. I can just keep going on this. Please fix your keyboards, everyone, all the manufacturers. I know I kind of targeted Apple, but honestly, they're all crap. So everyone should sit down and work on it. Even the best rated laptops in the world have just disastrous keyboards. So please work on this. I'm telling you, it's so important. Especially for laptop sales, you can't be making inferior products, not anymore. It's just too cut and dry. Okay, that's it. That's all I've got. That's my rant. Till next time, toodles.